Hi there. I decided to bring my practice into the house today rather than in my yoga studio so that you could see that you don't need a whole lot of space to do yoga. This is going to be a Yin practice, which is kind of the counterbalance to an active vinyasa flow or hatha class. I especially love Yin because it gives me time to be reflective and it teaches me patience because it's longer holds. And I feel when I'm done with the practice, so much release in my body. I think during stressful times, it's the perfect time for Yin. So to get started, you're going to need 2 blankets. I have one that I purchased in Mexico, and this is just a fuzzy, cozy one that I have around the house. I want you to start by bringing one of them under your sit bones, sitting against the wall, all the way against the wall. We're going to come into butterfly. So that pose is the one where you bring the soles of your feet together. If you practice hatha yoga, it's called Baddha Konasana, but in Yin, it's called butterfly, which I kind of like that name better. Bring your feet in as close as you can without being too stressful on your body. If you are a person with tighter hips, then I would recommend taking that other blanket and wrapping it around your ankles. I actually like to do this because I have super cold feet, so for me that feels really good. See if you can feel the shoulders pressing against the wall, release the tension in your neck, and then close your eyes and start to take those long, full breaths in and out. And then let's add a little count to the breath. So keeping the eyes closed, breathing in for a count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause at the top. And then exhale out 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the bottom. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Let that continue in your mind. Filling yourself up completely. And as you keep that counted breath going, I have a quote for you today from one of my favorite people, Deepak Chopra. He says, if you restore balance into your own self, you will be contributing immensely to the healing of the world. How about that? So if we take some time today to close our eyes, reflect, pause, and bring ourselves into balance, then we get to share that with others. Whatever energy that you're projecting, that's what you're exchanging with other people. So let's be that force of calmness in the world right now. Still counting those breaths in and out. Try to feel the neck and hip tissue soften. Letting go of any gripping that you might be having in your thighs or your hips. The intention of this pose is to release the hips, the inner thighs, and even the hamstrings. Try 5 more patient breaths in and out. Use your hands to bring your knees together and give yourself a nice little hug. Drop your chin down to your chest. Soften your shoulders. Take a few breaths there. And then go ahead and lift your head up. We're going to extend your right leg out and bring your left foot in. Doesn't matter wherever it is, it's just wherever it's comfortable for you. Try to resist the urge to flex that foot if you are used to a more active practice. Allow it to just relax and soften. And then we're going to start by taking a twist over to your left. Looking over your left shoulder, releasing the spine. Try to take your eyes all the way to the corner of the left side, giving those eye muscles a little stretch too. One more big breath in and out. And then bring yourself back forward. Have that blanket that you had around your feet maybe. Maybe it wasn't around your feet, but it was sure nice and cozy around mine. Fold it up so that you have it into a little square. Place it on top of your right leg and bring your left arm on top of it. We're going to take a lateral stretch over that leg, but I want you to find a way to find comfort in the pose. So don't reach for your toes. Let your arm relax. Bring your top arm up and over, and we'll start with the arm extended just for a few breaths so you can feel that stretch from your hip all the way up to your armpit. It's a nice stretch, but it's not sustainable for, long holding time periods. It's not sustainable to hold for a long period of time. Your fingers will start to tingle and you'll get impatient. So let's just take 5 more breaths with that nice stretch in the left side body. And then I want you to let that arm relax down. So it's just kind of draped over your head. If you have more space in you and you can do it, come down a little deeper, maybe adjusting that blanket as you do so to find a bigger pose, a bigger stretch. Close your eyes and do that important thing that we do called breathing. Notice how you're feeling in that whole hip region on the left, drawing it up the side body into the rib cage. How's your neck feeling? What can you do to make it a little bit more soft? Maybe that hand comes up and you rest your head on it. Invite some breath into those places that you're feeling some resistance. Ask them to release. It's the time that you think I need to get out of the pose is when you're really practicing your yoga. You just got one more breath here. Take the arm that's above your head, bring it to your thigh. Bring yourself up nice and slow. Oh, doesn't that feel so good? Wiggle around a bit. And we're going to forward fold over that leg. I'm going to turn my torso just a little bit so that I can see my toes nicely. Roll up your blanket to wherever you need to be. And then come forward. You can bring your forearms to the blanket, hang out here. Again, the front foot is relaxed. Drop your chin down to your chest. Take all that tension out of your neck. You can round in this pose. It doesn't have to be flat back like in a hatha yoga class. If you have that space to go deeper, slide your blanket out further. I like to cross my hands over my thigh just to get an extra release in my shoulders. We're going to breathe here for a while. Sometimes it's nice to go for maybe, 30, 40, 50 seconds and then try to reassess and go a little deeper. So let's try that. Just hanging out here for a few breaths more. Trying not to be in the full pose. You want to be in that place that you're feeling it, but you're not in any sort of pain. They call it Goldilocks. If you have some more space available, maybe adjusting and coming a little deeper into the pose, and then finding that calmness and the non non-motion, no fidgeting. Breathe into those tight places that you're feeling. And then invite that calmness into your mind. You can always add that counted breath back in, or you can practice with a mantra, breathing in, I am, breathing out, calm. Or maybe it's, I am, releasing, letting go. You're almost there. Don't back out yet. You got this. Knowing how great it's going to feel when you come up, but knowing that it wouldn't feel that great if you weren't holding here and extending that tissue. A few more breaths. And then take your hands to either side of your leg. Begin to walk yourself up nice and slow. We don't have to rush anything here. And that feels so good. How about that whole side here? Isn't it just loosey-goosey and yummy? We're going to try that on the other side. So extending your left leg out, bring your right foot in. We're starting with the lateral stretch. So, well, actually we're starting with a twist. Turning yourself over to the right side. Grow long on the inhale and then look over that shoulder. You're going to take your eyes all the way to the right corner. This feels especially nice after all that stretching we did. Bring yourself back to center. The first stretch is that lateral pose. We're going to roll up the blanket, get it to that place that feels pretty good. Put it on your thigh. Rest your left arm on top of it. And then we'll take that reach over. Remember, we started with the straight arm. Really think about inviting your shoulder back, pressing into the wall. Pressing into the wall. Doesn't that feel awesome? I know for me it does. And then allow that top arm to drape over your head. You can stay right there, or if you want to go a little deeper, bring that blanket out a little further. You get to pick where it feels comfy. And try to release the guarding that your body might be doing. We're trying to get into the hamstrings and the spine and the hips. Remember we brought that hand up last time. If that would feel good, bring it up to rest your head on. They seem like such simple poses, but when you hold them for a long time, you can really feel the benefits. Opening of the intercostal muscles. Those are the little muscles between your ribs. And they say that when we're young and kids and we run around on the playgrounds yelling and laughing, that those intercostal muscles are all loose and nice. But as we get older, they become tight. And the only way you can loosen them back up is to either do one of two things. Direct the breath there, which we're trying to do here, or scream. So which do you prefer? Yeah, direct that breath right into the place that you're feeling the tightness. And then notice, are you holding any tension in your hip on the left side? If you are, let that go. Soften, soften, soften. Keep the breath flowing in and out, knowing that when we come out, it's going to feel fantastic. And we're almost there. Are you still breathing those full breaths in and out? Just a few more. Straighten that arm up, bring it back down to your side. Slowly bring yourself back up tall. Oh yeah, feeling that nice evenness on both sides of your body now, that opening in the low back. We'll take our forward fold next. So we'll take our blanket back to however it felt comfortable. For some of you, you might need to fold it in half again. Remember, we can rest here. Or you can take it out a little bit further, crossing those hands over your ankles, still letting that chin come down to the chest. Pull the shoulders down and away from your ears. Soften your foot so you're not flexing. Try to release any tension in your quadricep and your hamstring. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Again, it's not about making it a pretty pose. So round your spine as much as you need to. Let your chin drop down so you release your neck. If all is lovely and you want to go a little deeper, do that. And then be still. Letting go of any worries that you have in your head. Trying to find that more meditative place. Maybe adding back in a mantra, breathing in, I am, breathing out, releasing. I am calm. Whatever's working for you. Observe where you feel the tension, and then very sweetly ask it to let go. You've got this. Maybe 30 more seconds. You can do it. Use those hands to bring yourself up. Remember, you want to come out of it really slow. Doesn't that feel so good? Let's bring our feet out and give them a little shake. Our next pose is kind of the counter pose for what we've been doing. We've been forward folding. So this time we're going to try to bring some expansion into our chest and shoulders. It's a very gentle back bend. I actually really like it. So open your blanket up so that it is a rectangular shape, and then roll it up into what I call a taquito. Not a burrito, a taquito. Place it at the right where your head's going to go on the blanket, so it's going to be right up against it. And then you're going to lie down on it so that your spine is on the blanket. You'll adjust your second blanket so that it fits your head the way you like it. And then take your legs and extend them out. Hands by your side. And you have lots of options for your arms. So the closer they're in towards you, the less you're going to get opening in here. So if you feel like this is really a tight area, keep your arms in tight. If you want to get a bigger release, if you've been hunched over a computer or reading a book, maybe rounding your spine for a while, maybe try opening those arms out a little wider. You can even bring them into cactus arms. This is actually my favorite. I feel a bigger opening across the armpit area and into the shoulder. Notice how you're feeling, where your head's at, if your neck's released. Put a little space between your teeth and release your jaw. And then start to breathe those long, even breaths in and out. You can do that counted breath again if you like. Maybe you may be adding on a number this time, breathing in for 7, pausing at the top, breathing out for 7, and pausing at the bottom. So this is going to be your final pose, but you can always turn it into Shavasana if you would prefer. So at any time, if you like, you can roll onto one side, pull the blanket out from under your spine, and take a more traditional pose. While you rest here, I'm going to read you a little poem. The poem is from the book The Moon by Kay Tolno. I really like her. We are soft souls, ever-changing, but filled with shimmering dreams and sparkling ideas. It's our nature to reflect every hint of light in the night. This is our kindness and our influence. But we are hard to understand complex minds that crave simple thoughts. This is why I need you and you need me, for we are the same. And when the moon comes together far from the ground but close to each other, they can change the world. Stay there as long as you like. Peace and namaste.